When I was first starting out in the adult world, I was pretty foolish with money. I made a choice to become self-sufficient and learn what I needed to in order to make it in life, or kind of see how I would do. It's no secret money management is a skill in and of itself, and that you do need money to live. My stubborn self chose to struggle through it though, and I picked up a part-time job and was attending a college school at the time. Unfortunately, I didn't know much about money, and long story short, I ended up being, to me, what I felt like was massively in debt. With student loans, a personal loan, and a credit card I used to help repair my car when it broke down, and I was living paycheck to paycheck, and it just wasn't working. I was only making around $17,500 a year before taxes, and working about 20 to 25 hours a week, sometimes 30 if they would allow. And being full-time in college, and well, I should have tried harder to find scholarship money instead of digging the debt hole deeper. Remember that personal loan? I took it to start a business because that's where I thought money was made. I know, bad, right? Anywho, the moral of the story is I've lived massively in debt and I've since transformed my finances. I still make some financial mistakes, however these simple steps have transformed my money management skills, and I always refresh myself on these steps on this marathon of a journey called wealth. You'll be surprised by how easy they are though. Dave Ramsey said, personal finance is 80% behavior and 20% head knowledge, and he's 100% right. Wherever you are at in your financial journey is perfect, and I can guarantee that these steps if followed will change your finances. Why? Because I myself have lived them, and they dug me out from $20,000 in debt to well over $250,000 net worth and revealed the biggest secret of all, the simple wealth formula that I will share with you later in this video. We live in the digital age or microwave era, meaning we have been so gifted with being able to have things, whether it's food or questions answered in mere moments, simply by typing in your phone to the knowing Google, what is the best way to manage my finances? To which you get a plethora of information. This blessing, however, also is a curse, one which has ever so quickly made it so we lose patience. In my humble opinion, creating wealth should be viewed as a long game. Dave Ramsey himself has tried the get rich quick route, and it did work for a time until the banks decided to call the loans on his over $4 million in real estate assets, which he couldn't sell out fast enough, albeit he tried. And this brought him and his young family into having to file bankruptcy at the young age of 26. Amidst the aftermath and through trying times, he came up with what I'll be presenting to you today, the 7 baby steps and why they work. Baby step number 1, save $1,000 to be your starter emergency fund. The first step is to save $1,000 as fast as possible. The simplest reason I can explain why this is so powerful is because this will shore you up and make your financial journey that much easier. This is, as Dave has mentioned, to safeguard you so you can continue the climb to financial greatness. Dave learned that though sheer willpower can work, and putting everything into debt makes the most sense mathematically, however it does bring some risk. Most people, including myself, are not always the greatest at calculating out risk and viewing things from all angles. Now imagine trying to pay off $50,000 worth of debt and shoveling all your money you earn to that colossal debt, and then without warning, your car breaks down. And now you have an unexpected $700 repair that threw off your plans, and you don't have any reserves, so you choose to put it on your credit card, undoing the behavior you've been working to correct, which is getting rid of debt and staying out of it. Psychologically, this caused many to give up on their journey to become the master of their finances. So Dave, seeing this happen, chose to make this the first baby step to act as what he calls Murphy repellent. Murphy is described as things that simply go wrong in life at the wrong time, like the example of your car breaking down as you work towards paying down $50,000 in debt. So as quickly as possible, save $1,000 and ensure they are not in the market or tied up elsewhere, because once again, you have a hard time withdrawing funds if they are in a down market. So it's best to keep this very liquid and accessible should you need it, like in a savings account. Baby step number 2, pay off all debt except the home mortgage using the Debt Snowball. Become debt free except the house. Once again, this one mathematically doesn't seem the best. However, it makes complete sense when you realize the psychological benefit of quick wins. The baby steps have been designed to work with our being to change the behavior of being a slave to your debtor. This step will start to give you a boost, a I can attitude. Back when I was playing basketball, my basketball coach would bring up in a game if we were a bit behind was the simple reminder of, guys, It's time to lock them down on defense, and we just need to start chipping away. We won a lot of comeback games this way, and this mentality encompasses baby step number 2. The key to this one is to lock down your spending, play solid defense, and then start chipping away at the debt, and you will win at managing your money or the game. Dave Ramsey, the renowned radio host, utilized another analogy of becoming gazelle intense, where gazelles, when they see the cheetah coming their way, and one of them hypothetically yell to the other, "Cheetah!" And so they are able to dart away from the fastest land mammal on the planet by moving in angles and crossing each other up to make sure that they can't get a straight shot from the cheetah. Being gazelle intense is being committed and focusing on curbing your spending habits and changing your behavior so you can live like no one else for a time. The rice and beans diet, no going out to eat, no thrift shopping, no frivolous spending period, so you can live like no one else in the future. The time to change who you've become financially is now, and the Debt Snowball uses little wins to encourage you to keep going and tackle the behemoth of debt in front of you one step at a time. It's proposed, which I strongly agree with, that you pay down your debts in the order of lowest debt to highest, not the highest interest rate. And like I said before, this isn't mathematically the best, but rather the best psychologically. This one can take a while, as early as 3 months or as long as 2 years, depending on your situation. But if you're really committed to becoming financially fit, this time will fly by. And once again, by so living like no one else for a time, you can live like no one else in the future with abundance and peace in your soul. Baby step number 3, save 3 to 6 months of expenses to fully fund your emergency fund. Congratulations, you've paid off all of your debt and can now start working towards greater financial stability by breaking the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck by following this next step. Building upon the initial $1,000, we are now going to build a wall to protect yourself and your family from financial hardship. Hard times will come. There's no if. Being laid off from your job because the company you work for gave your job to other workers across the seas, or a medical diagnosis finds your daughter with stage 4 cancer, to which now the medical bills are racking up. Life is unpredictable, and the better prepared you are to deal with things, the better off you'll be, meaning less stress on money and more clarity of mind to deal with what's at hand. Now, this is your choice, 3 or 6 months of all expenses. 3 months is typically better for people who have a consistent income and a very high demand job, where you are more certain that you could find another job if you needed to. 6 months is for anyone who likes to have more of a cushion or has a commission-based job where there are feast or famine months, or you're just not sure how long it would actually take if you lost your job and had to go search and find a new one. To add to this, I noticed I was still living paycheck to paycheck even though I had 3 months saved up, and this was because I still checked my account every time I got paid and still lived paycheck to paycheck because this money was in my savings account. The subtle enhancement I would offer, and this is going to be an example of a 3-month emergency fund, is to put 1 month in checking and 2 months in saving. That way you need not worry about money in your account. And this has brought the peace of not worrying about having to shift money or move money because you don't have enough in your checking. And you can just focus on allocating it to work on your behalf. Baby step number 4, invest at least 15% of your income for retirement. Now that you have a greater foundation in your finances, pun intended, now also pause for just a moment. If this video has helped you build a greater foundation for your finances, please consider liking the channel and subscribing for the YouTube algorithm so this can help others. On to building your wealth. Taking at least 15% of your take-home pay and automatically investing it in good assets, for example, the stock market. Dave often recommends good growth stock mutual funds, and he has about 4 or 5 different options he recommends. I personally like just good growth stock funds in general, like VOOG or Vanguard's S&P 500 Growth ETF. However, investing allocation details will likely be in another video. And of course, a disclosure, I'm not a licensed financial advisor, so do your own due diligence before making investment decisions. Now, in my opinion, I prefer stocks because they work like clockwork and I know more about them. It also adds a lot more passivity to my investments versus like investing in big real estate properties where you need to have a property manager if it's going to be passive and you have to have quite a big down payment to get the property to begin with. However, pick your preferred method. Steps 4, 5, and 6 are the marathon part of this journey and often take the longest, but look upon what you've thus accomplished if you are on this step in your financial journey. No debt, a 3 to 6 month emergency fund, and you're super fit financially, which is more to say than most people. Moving on to baby step number 5, save for your children's college fund. This one is done with steps 4 and 6 and depends more on where you are at, like if you have kids or not. This one is pretty straightforward, and Ramsey Solutions recommends a 529 college savings plan or an educational savings account, an ESA. Both are great options if you're looking to help your kids in the future so they can go to college and not have to worry about working. Why save for your kids' college fund, you might ask? Well, you love them, of course, and second, it's to give them a better start in life. Why not help out your posterity by helping them gain a high-level education? Now, I'd recommend that you do teach them good financial principles like the baby steps and make sure they have a good direction before going through college so they aren't aimless upon entering. You can utilize the inflationary numbers, like the average inflation rate in the United States is currently 2.25% over 20 years, to determine rough costs of tuition and living from today to help you come to your number needed per kiddo. Baby step number 6, pay off your home early. Now, this one has gotten a lot of controversy over the recent years because mortgage rates have been historically low at a 2 to 4% interest rate on a home. This is the only one I would disagree with if you have a 2 to 4% mortgage, in my opinion. Invest and use your investments to pay down your home over time. If you have a 7% or more interest rate on your home, it's best to pay it off early. The reason why is simply the market is more volatile, and this will pay down your house so you can live in it payment free. And Dave also states that it's different when you own the floors you're stepping on or walking in your paid for grass in your paid for backyard looking at your paid for house. Paying down your home early is a guaranteed way to save you tons of your money paid to the bank. I'll also post a link to Ramsey Solutions Baby Steps, which has an awesome mortgage payoff calculator to help you run some numbers on how much you can save. Now imagine having your house paid for, free and clear except for property taxes. It's just an amazing feeling, and it adds to your net worth, creating more wealth. I want to pause here before we go on to baby step number 7 and share that wealth formula I learned reading this book many years ago. Dave goes over financing a nice car and how it robs your future wealth. Funny enough, I've actually met a person who was past retirement age and bragged about all the nice cars he's driven, but unfortunately they were no longer there, and he would have much rather had a good retirement than a nice new car every few years. Buying a nice new car is terrible for your wealth because they lose value ever so quickly, and it's really not a good idea unless you have over a net worth of $1 million as Dave Ramsey proposes, because you can take the hit. The average new car payment in America today is $726 a month. Now, if you invest that in good growth stocks, compounding at 12% per year for 40 years, you'll have a grand total of $7,484,000. which the earnings of a portfolio like that annually at 12% would be close to $900,000 a year. You can buy almost any car at that point, and you could probably enjoy a nice new car sooner with a portfolio a quarter that size. Dave then states, "I hope you enjoy the car," to further this point. Now, I will put a compound interest calculator down below to help you guys run some different numbers to help you determine your path. It doesn't need to take 40 years, has always been my thought. Baby step number 7, build wealth and give. The root of all evil is not money, but the love of money. Money is simply a tool to which you can do some exceedingly good with by supporting local charities, giving back to friends and family. However, I'd recommend you do this secretly so they do not come to you whenever they need some extra money or things. Greed and using people is a real problem. But now is the time to enjoy your accomplishments. You've made it to the pinnacle, and as the author of the Total Money Makeover says, you can enjoy the fun ride down on the other side, the wind rushing through your hair, because you can now have some serious fun, go on some amazing trips, buy some really cool things, and build more wealth and give. In closing, if you follow these 7 proven steps to wealth, you will have a proven path that you can rely on. And no, it's not the quick path. Oftentimes those who make quick money lose it because their behaviors haven't changed. Think of lottery winners. Recall what I said earlier in this video, creating wealth should be viewed as a long game. Dave Ramsey was right on these steps and has helped an untold number of people. These steps work and will help you on your journey to mastering your finances and securing more peace within your life. Thanks for watching, and remember to finish strong.